I have a tremendous amount of respect for those dudes. They play really hard. I think they're really good. And every game we played with them this year, at their place, they had us down 14 late, and we came back. I think Dalton had 33 in that game or something like that. And then at our place, we were playing really well. And one at the very end. I thought tonight's game was a special college basketball game. I thought it was a great game. Really anyone could have won that game. What I'm proud about, and I told our guys that I'm probably more proud of this team in this game than I've been really maybe in my coaching career based off the situation. One of our best players is not with us, working on an injury, and so we were a little shorthanded. Then we were even more shorthanded at halftime when one of our starting big got ruled out for injury, and then we were even more shorthanded where this guy over here, the 40-year-old, when he had cramps and ankle injuries and things like that. And so we were asking really young kids to step up. I don't think we took Dalton or Dalen out in the second half, and just the amount of energy. And so we beat a great opponent in what was a great game. That was a great college basketball game. So that would be kind of where my head is at.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open it up for players' questions.
Matt, I don't know what Coulter do on a Skyline Sports. Hi, I don't know what was going on, but how'd you fight through it, and what did it feel like to seal this victory?
I was just telling the guys after the game that might be the hardest game I've played in. I had the same deal against Arizona last year where I was just cramping up. I don't know. It's just, I guess I'm just bound to have it every season, at least one game. I wouldn't want it to be in any games in the playoffs, but it happened. But I just rallied behind my teammates. My teammates were just talking to me throughout the whole thing and just telling me to stay strong, and we're going to get this done. So.
Dalton, Cam Parker kind of took over there for a minute, but then you responded. You guys had that 8-0 run to retake the lead, capped by your bucket. What changed? How were you guys able to sort of turn the tide?
Just staying composed and really just locking in on the defensive end, and then trying to just get as many stops as we can, finish it with rebounding, and then just going down and just playing our offense.
Will Hopkins, NEZ Today. Dalton, you came up with a big block there in the closing minutes to really switch momentum. Can you just take me through what that play was like for you?
It was big. I think they was on a run when we was going back and forth during that time. So I think it was a big momentum swing for our whole team, and it just kind of just lifted us up.
And then Matt, you had 22 points, obviously, but you were joined by 3 other dudes, including Dalton, with double figures. So can you talk about how you talked about having the team support, but in a mental capacity, but in a getting buckets kind of capacity? Can you talk about that?
Well, yeah, Dalton, we obviously know about him, second team all conference, should have been first team in my opinion. And Dalen, player of the year, should have been last year, and honorable mention. I have 2 talented guys around me, so I don't have to worry about much on the scoring side. And it's just for me, I'm just there to be the leader, and we need to get. And ultimately on the defensive end, I'm trying to be the best defensive guy on our team and the most detailed guy on our team. And I think that's what we need and to make it all the way. And I truly believe that we can do that if we just stay composed on the defensive end and get stops and rebound the basketball. I think our offense is going to take care of itself.
Thank you both. We'll now turn it over to questions.
Just one more for Matt. You guys have had some great games against Montana State in recent years. So what comes to mind when you think of the Cats, and why is it always such a great battle with them?
A lot of respect for them. Sprinkles, he's a really great coach. They have a lot of seasoned veterans on their team, and they got us in the championship last year, and we're just going to try to come out and we're going to try to compete. And that's the biggest thing for us is just to be competitors. If we can just come out and fight them early, and just for the whole 40 minutes of the game, then we'll be fine. I feel like.
I think our bench was a little bit different tonight. Obviously, as we moved Connor Creech into the starting lineup, with Riley not here, and so that changed the component of the bench. So to have that, but to have our bench step up even more, and like you said, Brock, not just 11 points, but 10 rebounds. And as I look at the box score, I've been on Brock pretty hard because he's been really good with offensive rebounding recently. But he had a stretch of about 70 minutes without a defensive rebound late in the season. And for him to get 6 big defensive rebounds was really big as well. And then Jamel, Jamel hasn't had a chance to play much recently. And we always, every coach has our cliches, right? Be ready when your number's called, and you sit there for 20 games, like, well, my number's never called. And then when Theo went out at halftime, and Jamel played in the first half with the foul trouble too, but for Jamel to come in as well, so you look at those two bigs off the bench, had 18 points and 13 rebounds. And so that's just awesome. And then those young guys, Langston and Caleb, didn't do a ton statistically, but that's okay. That's not something they need to do. Like Matt said, you got Matt, you got Dalen, you got Dalton, you got all these dudes that they can score, and you need some help around them. And so I thought our whole bench, it's a good question, our whole bench did a great job tonight and really fulfilled their roles.
I know you talked about it a little bit, but 15 second chance points for you guys.
Yeah.
How huge is that?
Huge. And that was fun. 13 offensive rebounds. Second chance points were great. And again, that's against an athletic, talented team. And the biggest thing is when you go into any one of these games, you don't want to feel like you're ever out toughed, outworked, out physical. And for us, we out rebounded those guys 40-33. And I just thought our guys, they had a real edge to them tonight. And never once did they waver again with the injuries and guys are out. And who cares? Like, coach, let's go. And so they did a great job of just fighting the entire 200 minutes. Yep.
Similar question for you, Steve. What do you think of the rematch with Montana State? You guys have had a lot of great games the last couple of years.
A lot of great games. This year so far they've had our number. They played really well against us at our place and at their place. I thought the second half of their place we kind of maybe figured a few things out, but obviously they're really good, and they have some really experienced players. And so you're gonna have to go out and beat them. They're not gonna beat themselves, and so you're gonna have to go out. We're gonna have to play at a high level. But I know this. I know our guys, like when we lost to them, that was the last loss before we played Weber State and kind of turned our thing around. That was a pretty dark place for our entire bubble of 20, 25 people. So in a kind of good way, I think it's a blessing that we at least get a chance to go out and fight. You know what I mean? So I think our guys are excited about that. We've been in so many good games with them. Last year, the championship, then at their place, Bodie Hume hits a 3 to win it until Raekwon Battle hits a 60-footer to win it, going to ESPN Sports Center, number 1. At our place, we beat them in overtime. And so it's been a very good battle for a long time. And obviously, they're a great team. But if you're going to win this thing, you're going to have to go beat some good teams. And so we're excited for the challenge.